Now let's go over input-output redirection. We've already touched a little bit on it before when we used the cat command to create file2 by redirecting the output from file, as we can see in this recap. So let's go more in depth with input-output redirection and what's involved. So we want to learn about standard input, standard output, and standard error. Everything in Linux is basically a file, and every file has an associated number called a file descriptor, even keyboards, monitors, printers, etc. During every command execution at the terminal, 3 files are always open, and these are standard input, standard output, and standard error. For this, I want you to think of commands as a center of everything you do. We want standard input, which is where a command is normally receiving information from. Typically, this is the keyboard, and it has a descriptor of 0, as shown on the screen. Standard output is where information gathered after a command execution goes to, normally the shell window or terminal on your monitor. And this is associated with a file descriptor of 1. Standard error is similar to standard output. Information goes to the shell window or terminal on your monitor, and this has a file descriptor of 2. We can redirect these using the less than and greater than symbols on our keyboard. So let's go over some examples. First, we're going to try out the mel command. So we're going to type in mel -s hello abc@email.com, and we're going to redirect the input of file. Basically what this does is it attaches file to the email. So that's one example that you could use for redirecting the input. Now don't worry about executing this command because we probably don't have mel installed just yet. So we're just going to type in and cancel out of that. Next, let's go over output. As we discussed again at the beginning of this video, we already know how to redirect output, so using a single greater than symbol. Now the thing about this you need to know is if the file exists, the old contents are completely deleted and it's replaced by the output of the command, as you can see. File 1, file 2. Now let's test this out and append or add information to file 2. So let's use echo. Let's type in echo hello, hit enter, and you see it echoes the same thing we typed. Now let's echo hello and append it using 2 greater than signs to file 2. Hit enter, and then let's cat it. And as you can see, hello has been added to the bottom. Standard error redirection is a little different. Let's list out our contents and see what's here. Now let's list the contents of hello. Since there is no directory called hello, we get an error. But what if we didn't want to see the errors on the screen? We would need to redirect them. So let's use ls hello 2 greater than and errors. This will create a file named errors and send the errors to that file. So now let's check for the file. There it is, errors. And let's go ahead and see the contents of it. See how the error was redirected to the file? Now one error isn't a big deal, but if you have multiple and you are trying to read through information on the screen, it's much easier to redirect the errors in order to decrease the screen clutter and locate the info you need much easier. We can also redirect the errors to dev null, which eliminates them altogether. Alright, great job. I'll see you in the next lesson.